So how do you find clarity when the world just never stops talking, right? We're all searching for answers, but what if we're looking in completely the wrong place? In this explainer, we're going to dig into a really powerful idea that the solution to life's complexities isn't about adding more, but about embracing silence. So yeah, let's dive.
This one idea, it flips our whole concept of quiet on its head. Most of us, we think of silence as just empty space, a void. But what if it's the exact opposite? What if it's a space that's already jam-packed with the very clarity and answers we're running around trying so hard to find out in the world? It's a pretty radical thought.
Okay, so if the answers are just sitting there in the silence, why is it so hard for us to hear them? Well, the problem, in one word, is noise. And it's coming from everywhere, inside our own heads and from the world all around us. So let's really break down what's getting in our way. I mean, this is a feeling we can all relate to, right? That constant static inside your head, thoughts, worries, plans, desires, all just swirling around. There's a great analogy for this. It's like trying to see your own reflection in choppy water. It's just impossible. That constant motion, all that noise, it blurs everything, making it so hard to see what you're thinking, what you're feeling, or even who you are with any real clarity.
And this racket isn't just coming from one place. Nope. It's like we're fighting a battle on two fronts. On one side, you've got the internal noise, your own thoughts, your anxieties, your ambitions. But at the exact same time, you're getting bombarded by external noise. It's like the world has a megaphone screaming at you about what you need to buy, what you should be chasing after, and what you're supposed to be afraid of. It is just relentless from the inside and the outside.
All right, so we've nailed down the problem. It's noise. Now let's talk about the fix. And this is where we start to see silence, not as just emptiness, but as a kind of powerful medicine. A really simple, direct antidote to all that chaos. Think about this for a second. Imagine taking off a super heavy backpack that you didn't even know you were carrying. That's the feeling. That's what this is like. The second you decide to intentionally step away from all the noise and you just sit down and observe, there's this immediate sense of relief. You just feel light, free from all that constant pressure that's been weighing you down. And that feeling of freedom, it changes everything. Look, we're basically trained to have an instant reaction to every single thing, right? Every email, every notification, every headline. But silence, it gives you a buffer. It hands the power back to you and helps you realize that reacting is a choice, not something you have to do. You can just observe. And once you realize you don't have to react to everything, you also realize something else. You don't always have to win. I mean, just think about how much of our mental chatter comes from that pressure to win an argument, to be right, to get ahead of the next person. In the quiet, you can actually unplug from that whole game. Your value isn't tied to some imaginary scoreboard.
So if you don't have to react and you don't have to win, it all leads to this incredible place. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Not how smart you are, not how much you're worth, not your status. In that quiet space of just being, you are simply enough. No performance required.
And this is way bigger than just, stress relief. This goes so much deeper. Because when you stop trying to prove yourself all the time, you can actually start discovering yourself. Silence becomes this sacred space where you can finally listen past all the noise and hear who you really are, underneath all those labels we all wear. And here's where we get to a really profound distinction. We spend our entire lives identifying with all these temporary labels, don't we? Our name, our body, our job title. But here's the thing. Those are just things you have. They're not who you are. Who you really are is the awareness behind all of it. The calm, peaceful watcher inside that's observing the thoughts, feeling the body, doing the job, but is never, ever defined by any of it. And silence, that's how you get to meet that true self. Okay, I get it. This might be sounding pretty profound, maybe even a little out there. Abstract. So the big question is, how do we actually do this? How do we put it into practice? Well, that brings us to our final and honestly most important part, a daily ritual. This is the simple how-to guide for finding this clarity for yourself. And you know what? Here's the best part. This isn't some huge life-altering commitment. We're not talking about overhauling your entire life here. The commitment is just 10 minutes. That's it. 10 minutes a day.
That's all it takes to start building this clarity. It's so achievable for anyone.
And the process itself? It's just beautifully simple. First, you just sit in silence. You close your eyes. Then, you just watch your breath. Now, step 4 is really key. Don't try to control your thoughts. Don't fight with them. Just observe them. Let them float by like clouds in the sky. And when you do that, you get to step 5, where you just let everything settle. I love this analogy. Think of muddy water in a jar. As long as you shake it, it's cloudy. But the moment you stop stirring, the mud naturally sinks to the bottom and the water becomes clear. Your mind works the exact same way.
When you boil it all down, it comes to this one fundamental truth. The peace we want, the answers we're looking for, the clarity we crave, it's not some destination you have to travel to. It's not a prize you have to win. It's an internal state. It's already inside you, right now, just waiting for you to stop searching out there and finally, turn your attention inward.
So that's the journey we've just walked through. From understanding the noise that clouds our thinking, to seeing silence as a kind of medicine, all the way to a simple, daily practice that can lead you back to that calm center. And so, I'll just leave you with the same question this whole idea poses. What answers are waiting for you in the silence?